Welcome to the OMG Show.
Where in your funnel do your leads convert? That's today's question on the OMG Show. And that's a very good question to ask because everyone's sales process is different. Not everyone's is the same. And so the moment in which you convert a lead into a customer can vary depending on your methodology for acquiring sales, for the market that you're in, even for the price of the product that you're trying to sell. For example, for people that sell high-end coaching, that funnel, you're not going to see a conversion until maybe 4 or 5 steps down the road because there's a lot of follow-up, there's a lot of relationship building. If you're selling something that's a little bit on the low end, it might be immediately going straight from a Facebook ad. Right now, the whole point of what I'm trying to tell you is that you really need to map out your system and figure out what's the best course of action to turn a lead into a customer, okay? And how to turn that customer into an advocate, because just because someone buys doesn't mean that's the end of the relationship. No way, okay? That's it. They're committed, so you should be committed as well and try to figure out how to turn that customer into an advocate, okay? So it really depends on your sales process. So if you're trying to figure out, hey, I'm generating all these leads, I have all this traffic, but they're not turning into customers, where in my sales process am I going wrong? The first thing you should do is outline your sales process. Pull out a whiteboard, pull out a piece of paper, use Lucidchart or some kind of other online software where you can map out processes and map out your sales flow, your sales funnel, your sales, your pipeline, if you will. Okay, and see where the potential choking point could be. Maybe you're not even making an offer. Okay, that could be a problem too. And maybe you're not sure where to place that offer. Okay, so when you're looking at a sales process, at a sales system, what you need to understand is that it comes down to two things: traffic and conversion. Okay, and the more steps you have in your process, right, the more qualified a lead generally is, but also the less people go through that process. Okay, so for example, let's go ahead and go through like 2 different real life examples so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When I do my coaching funnel, a typical coaching funnel, the way it works is you sign up, there's an ad that leads you to some kind of lead magnet, some kind of welcome ad offer where you sign up for this really great training. Okay, you sign up for the training, boom, you watch the training. At the end of that training, I make an offer to get on a free call with me. Okay, and typically on that free call, I'll create a blueprint for your marketing, so that you can follow through and figure out how to, what it is that you want to do with your marketing, how to best go about it, so on and so forth. And I pretty much say, hey, listen, if you want to get on this 1-hour call with me, it's gonna be free, and if you feel like I wasted your time, I'll send you $100. Okay, so already they've had to click on my ad, they had to see the presentation, go through the presentation because I make that offer at the end, and then they have to schedule the call. Okay, then once we're scheduling the call, they have to get on the call. Okay, then we actually need to execute the call. All right, and I typically say that at the end of the call, 3 things are going to happen. Number 1 is they're going to say, Oscar, this was awesome, great job, thank you so much. I now know exactly what I need to do with my business. Number 2, how can we work with you? And number 3, I hated it and I want my money back. Okay, and I want the $100 that you send me, or send me the $100 that you promised me. Right now, out of the 3 situations, only the first 2 ever tend to happen. Okay, so that's one. Stop right there. And then if they decide to, how do we work with you? Then I have several other options that I offer in order for them to take that next step. Okay, and then depending on what step they want to take from there, right? Like, let's say I want to do like one-on-one, like done for you services. Maybe I want to do one-on-one coaching. Maybe it's a mastermind offer. Maybe it's some kind of smaller group intensive. So there's different offers, and depending on which one they select, there's a different process, right? But these are all higher tickets. Okay, so for example, the minimum that someone can work with me with is one-on-one coaching, which starts off at $1,000 a month. But there's an application process for that. So if they decide to go that route, they have to fill out the application. Me and my team will review it, and then we decide if we want to go ahead and move forward, right? So again, there's multiple steps. Versus a very simple funnel where, for example, a client of mine, they go from an ad straight to an offer for $49 a month. And then if you purchase that, boom, you get sold on a yearly offer where you save 3 months. Okay, they have a subscription-based business, and that's the process right then and there. So if you're asking yourself, where do I convert? Where do I make my customers? Well, then ask yourself, what are you selling? And is what you're selling, does that require a specific, person? Now, for example, if you're selling high-end tickets, generally speaking, again, generally, you're going to want to make sure you're speaking to a very specific person that meets a certain set of criteria. Okay? So you're going to want to have a process in place that filters out people that you don't need to be talking to. Right? So, for example, if your offer is for $100,000, right, you're not going to be talking to someone who, doesn't have $10,000 on them. Right? So you need something that can filter out those kind of people. Right? If your specialty is, real estate brokers that have been in business for 15 years, then you don't want to talk to a real estate broker who's been in the business for only 2. Right? So you need to have some kind of qualifiers in place in your sales process to, number one, attract a large amount of people, but then filter them. In this way, when you look at your sales funnel, your conversion rates are typically on the lower end, but you're going to have a higher quality lead because only those that you've pre-qualified or have qualified themselves are going through your funnel. Okay. Another funnel that I like is like the survey funnel, where you have a survey in the beginning, that's your front end, and then based on the questions, they're pretty much self-qualifying themselves, and depending on what results they get, you put up an offer right in front of them according to what they answered. Right. So it's a very specific offer which they qualified for. Okay. Because they selected those answers themselves. So typically you get a higher conversion rate, but to implement that takes a lot of time and resources. Okay. So again, you have to map out your sales process in order to see where people are coming in and when is it appropriate for me to make an offer. Okay. Am I selling something that's $7? If that's the case, go ahead and offer the $7, right? If you're offering something that's $10,000 or more, there might be some kind of education pieces that need to go in play in order for your people to feel comfortable spending that kind of money with you. All right. Now, something that affects conversion rates is making sure that people understand what's in it for them. Okay. Many people assume that once they've outlined their sales process that it's going to work just like that. The reality is that it's not. A lot of people are going to see something that you're posting on your website, on your sales page, that's going to cause them to stop. Okay. And most of the time it's going to be the copy that you're using. It's probably just not communicating the right value that taking the next step is going to bring them. So you want to make sure that, for every step of your funnel, okay, you have copy that supports and sells your lead that's going through that sales funnel on taking the next step. You need to take the next step because of X, Y, and Z, and here's what you're going to get out of it. So do it now. Otherwise, you're going to continue on da-da-da-da-da. Okay? They take that step, next one. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you're going to get. Here's why it benefits you. Here's why you do it now. And if you don't, here's what's going to happen. Boom. Every single step, you just sell them onto the next one. Okay? But it all starts off by you mapping out that sales process. Okay? And, to generate a customer, it doesn't take that much effort. Okay? If you really just want to generate a customer, one of the best funnels that I've ever seen was a $2.99 ebook, and then there was a order bump of a penny, and the penny put them into a 10-day trial for a membership site that then charged them $49 10 days later. Okay, and that funnel was a huge success. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but that funnel belongs to a business that's generating $500,000 a month. Okay, $49, 10,000 members. You do the math. Now, of course, they also have other sales funnels that are operating at the same time, but that one funnel, $2.99, right? That could work in pretty much any market. I mean, if you have a white paper that you can sell off for $2.99 and then put for a penny, you get access to a pretty cool suite of either a subscription business or a really cool course or whatever. That's a good way to get people in, get them to see kind of what the deal is, and then 10 days later, you can charge them the full amount or whatever you want to charge, but that way they get to kind of test drive and decide whether they want to keep it or not. Okay, so different funnels, different situations are going to dictate where in the process are you going to sell. Okay, now, again, if you're selling high-end tickets, high-end ticket item, more than likely you're not going to go on something, for example, Facebook, and then sell directly, right? You're not going to go, hey, here's my Facebook ad, boom, $10,000 offer. right? More than likely, what's going to happen is you're going to get them off of Facebook with some kind of low-end offer, and then slowly nurture them, have some kind of process in place where they self-qualify themselves, or pre-qualify themselves, I should say, and then boom, if they meet the criteria, that's when you make your offer. Okay, so the first 30 days are very crucial and important, all right, to generate that first customer. After that, the next 60 to 90 days, you should be focused 100% on turning that customer into an advocate. Okay, but when it comes to converting traffic, map out your sales process and ask yourself, what am I trying to sell? What's my offer? And then, does that offer need substantial education, or can you just go ahead and make the offer? Okay, my word of advice is, roll with the punches. So if you're not sure, if you're new to this, just put the offer out there, see what the response is. If it does well, high five, we both won. If it doesn't, go back to the drawing board and see why. What were potential problems that prevented people from taking that next step? Okay, but you have to map out your sales process. That's where it starts. All right. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I'll see you all on the next one.